Hello people. So in the last video, we saw how to use and code the quit button. In this video now, we will start working with the single qubit buttons. So all these buttons you can see here, X, Y, Z, R, X, S, T, D, H, all of these single qubit, uh, I say quantum buttons that uses quantum computing. So note that all of these buttons actually have two tasks to perform. So the first task is whenever I press any of these buttons, it should be displayed here. So I can see the sequence of the operations I've done on my qubit. Just like a normal calculator that we use, we uh, perform various calculations, but and to track them, we have the screen that helps us to see what are the calculations we are performing. Similarly, we have this feature here, and another function that all of these buttons should perform is applying their corresponding effect on the qubit. So if I press the X gate or the NOT gate, then it should correspondingly have an effect of the bit flip, okay, on our qubit. So these are the two things that we need to code, and as we know, uh, to make a button do certain tasks, we need to code a function for it. We need a function for it. If we already have it, well and good. If we don't have it, we have to code one by ourselves. So in this video, we will particularly try to focus on a single thing, that whenever we press these buttons, something the corresponding notation should be visible over here in the screen, right? And the function that you can see here helps us to achieve that. Okay, let's demystify this thing. Close this and uncomment this. Yeah, so you can see here, add a corresponding int notation in the display to track the operations. And the second function is if the number of operations reach 10, all gate buttons are disabled. Now let me explain you this second thing. Okay, so the Qiskit functionality that we use for the purpose of visualization only supports at max 10 operations. So you initialize your qubit, and after that 10 operations can be done, right? It does not support the 11th one. So after you have worked, say applied 10 operations, somehow we need to disable the buttons so that we are uh, working with the Qiskit functionality and it does not cause any errors, right? So uh, now displaying a number, any string, is really simple. It's just display dot insert. It's that simple. So remember, display here denotes our screen, and this gate input is actually this gate input that we receive from the corresponding buttons. So this is just a string. Think of this as just a simple string, and we take that and we just display it. We actually insert it, and this end helps to denote the position. We already saw this end in I think the about button when we were working with the about button. So the display part is pretty simple, nothing much of a headache. But when you come here, you see that a longer code is required for the disabling the button. Now let me walk you through this. Uh, I will walk you through this, but it will make more sense when we will complete coding all the gates, and then finally return and see this thing in action. Let me, as of now, just think of it as code that you are going through, right? So display.get gives the entire string that is on the screen. So in your display screen, whatever is displayed at that moment, you get all of it using this input gates, right? And now you store it in this variable input gates. Then you get the length. So you basically see how many characters are there in the string that you have got from this display.get. Now this just denotes, as you can see, number of gates pressed, right? And then uh, we convert it into a list, the input gates. Now note that for single qubit gates we use just say one single character. Like for X gate, a simple X can denote it, right? But for the R gates, RX, RY, and RZ, we need two characters, RX and correspondingly RY and RZ. So we use R so that it separates the X gate and RX gate on the screen, right? Now the catch is that we are trying to get the character using the number of characters on the screen. We are trying to determine how many gates are pressed. But in the case of these RX gate and these gates, which are the dagger gates, SD and TD, a single gate is applied, but there are actually two characters on the screen, right? So we need to write a little logic so that we can work with these things. We can apply our function very well, right? So now we define a list with these two characters R and this character D, right? So this is a simple list. Search word is now the simple list with these two characters, you can say. Now, what you see on here is called a list comprehension. Now, remember in one of the Python basics video, I talked about for loop, and usually you use a for loop to traverse through your list and apply various operations, right? So list comprehension is just a simple and neat way to do it. So in a single line of code, you are able to perform operation and work through a for loop. Uh, remember, we also had lambda that was a neat way of working with a function. Similarly, here list comprehension is a neat and simple way of working with for loops and corresponding list operations, right? So for I in search word, so remember we had this list search word, and now using this for loop we are traversing through it. So at the very first instant, this I would have the value of R, this character that you can see, right? Now we take our list of input gates. So at this moment, it's just a list that contains all of the characters that are present on your screen at that moment, all those gate characters. And we use this simple dot count method that every list has, every Python list has, and we pass this I. So what it does, that it gives you the count of those capital R characters that have appeared on your screen. So basically, it gives you how many times you have pressed either R gate or that D gate, because this we are traversing through this list. So for the very first time, this I has the value R, and the next time when the for loop runs, we have this I taking up the value of D. So now this count double valued gates is a list that contains the counts of these gates RX, RY, RZ, and SD and TD, because these gates, though they are pressed once, they actually have two characters that display it, right? Now we take the sum of count double valued gates. So say if we had two instances of Rx gate. So for example, then it will just be two, and maybe one instance of SD gate, then it will be one. So we take 2 plus 1 equal to 3, right? And we subtract it from the number of gates pressed, the length of the input. And that's what we wanted to do. So now after we do this operation, we subtract the length of this double valued gates. Now now we just have each character representing only single gate pressed, because for those double valued gates where two characters were representing only one gate, we have eliminated that extra character using this simple logic. I hope you are getting it. And now it's a simple if else statement. So a simple condition: if now this thing is equal to 10, then number of gates pressed is equal to 10. This is the, remember, this is just a length. So if it's equal to 10, it means that we have already pressed 10 gates. Now let's go into this condition. So if only if this condition is true, we now get back here, and this is a simple list of all the gates, because remember we need to disable all the gates, right? So what we do, we again use a for loop and we disable it. Now this is showing me an error because I have not imported the keyword disabled. So let me just import it here. Disabled. There we go. And you can see the error disappear because because we have imported the keyword. So what it does, gate.config state is equal to disabled. So what it does is it the button which was enabled, it disables it. So no longer the user can actually press it. So I hope you got the logic, and this is a simple way of how you develop logic and work with Python. So if you are a beginner, I think this was a great video for you. And that's it for this video. And now what I will do, I will just show you a demonstration of how it works. So I will go to the main file. I want to work a little more on our tutorial.py. So I will just run the main.py and I will show you how this thing works. So yeah, here we go. This is the main file, the already ready-made code that we had initially. So let me just press any 10 gates. So 1, 2, okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you can see as soon as I press the 10th gate, all the buttons are disabled. No more I can just click any one of them. So that was it. Now, and as soon as I clear, see, all of them are back. So this is one functionality of clear button that we will also see in one of the future videos. So that was it from this video. In the next video, we will provide these buttons their actual functionality, the quantum functionality of applying their effect on our qubit. So I hope you learned something from this video as well, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you.